Well, good morning, friends and family. I am doing my devotions this morning from McDonald's as we're getting ready for Bible study here at 8:30 here in Tell City. Today's devotion for Thursday, August the 8th, comes from the story of Jesus healing a man with leprosy. We got two accounts of this story, one from Matthew chapter 8 and one from Mark chapter 1. So, Matthew 8, 1-4 says, "Large crowds followed Jesus as he came down the mountainside. Suddenly a man with leprosy approached him and knelt down before him. 'Lord,' the man said, 'if you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean.' Jesus reached out and touched him. 'I am willing,' he said, 'be healed.' And instantly the leprosy disappeared. Then Jesus said to him, 'Don't tell anyone about this. Instead, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed with leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed.'" Mark chapter 1 verses 40-45 says, "A man with leprosy came and knelt in front of Jesus, begging to be healed. 'If you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean,' he said. Moved with compassion, Jesus reached out and touched him. 'I am willing,' he said, 'be healed.' Instantly the leprosy disappeared and the man was healed. Then Jesus sent him on his way with a stern warning. 'Don't tell anyone about this. Instead, go to the priest and let him examine you. Take along the offering required in the law of Moses for those who have been healed of leprosy. This will be a public testimony that you have been cleansed.' But the man went and spread the word, proclaiming to everyone what had happened. As a result, large crowds soon surrounded Jesus, and he couldn't publicly enter a town anywhere. He had to stay out in the secluded places, but people from everywhere kept coming to him." I guess a couple of thoughts. One is that this man with leprosy, who was used to being unclean and cast out from society, Jesus made it a point to touch him. He didn't need to, but he did. Being touched was a big thing for someone with leprosy. You just didn't have that happen. But the other thing, and I think the more interesting thing here, is that Jesus tells the man to go to the temple, bring the offering required, so that you can be proven as clean, so that the priests would approve him as clean and welcome him back into society. Not only was Jesus willing to touch him and give him what he longed for in that moment, to be healed, but also to give him contact and to welcome him into Jesus' life. But then on top of it, he wanted the priests to approve him so that he could be welcomed back into the life of the entire community. The other side of that is, I think that if he had gone and done this, that maybe it would have been a witness to the priests, and maybe they would have been open to Jesus' ministry a little bit more. And yet the man didn't do that. I think too often God calls us to do things that we don't fully understand, and so we go off and we do what we want to do. In Mark's gospel, it says he told everyone else, but he never made it to the temple. I can't help but wonder if maybe some people might have come to Christ, some priests, some religious people might have come to Christ that wouldn't have otherwise if this man had done what Jesus had asked him to. We don't always understand what God is asking us to do, and we don't understand the long-term plan, but we should always be faithful to what he calls us to. And I think that that's a key aspect of the miracles. Like I said yesterday, bearing witness to what God is doing in our lives is a key aspect of the miraculous. When we get to experience those things, God uses them to further his kingdom, not just to make us better. Well, those are my thoughts for today. Tomorrow we'll be looking at the healing at the Pool of Bethesda, and I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Blessings.